Hi, this video explains the latest update for my biome view, which you'll find on your sample list. The change has happened because I have made the measurements more precise down to 3 percentile chunks so that you can identify outliers much clearer than you could before. So when you click that, it will pop over and display your gut. And you see at the top here, we have choices, 8 divisions, 16 divisions, 32 divisions. With 8 divisions, it says, okay, are you in the top 12% or the bottom 12% of samples? 16, are you in the top 6% or the bottom 6%? 32, top 3 or bottom 3. So here we have some in the bottom 3, and we have here's some in the top 3, and then a bunch of greens. Orange is indicating it's close to the threshold, but it's not quite extreme. Now, if we reduce it to 8, we'll find that we end up getting a bunch more yellows because some of the greens, which were the lower end of the green range, move down to yellows. And similar for everything. If you go back, you notice some of the stuff suddenly drops down to green from orange, indicating it's a high end, but it's not in the top 6%. Now, if we go all the way up to 32, we'll see that some of our red suddenly became orange because they weren't absolutely the most extreme values, but they were significant. So, for example, for just one, we have 64469 alpha protobacteria. If you click it, you go over here and you get the details. If you go down and you'll see the guts, and what we find is that the threshold show red is 7.5, we were 6.9, and so we were in that percentage. So we didn't flag ourselves as an extreme value, but we did flag ourselves being orange as being at the high end. So if we go back and to the other charts, we can see it's orange because this isn't over the, so this is really outside of the expected range. It's simply on the edge of the upper expected range in the top 3% of samples. So it's traditionally in the top 3 or 5% has been actionable levels in terms of medical practice. So you can see here and go down, and you can see that, wait a minute, you have a whole stack of reds here, which means these are pretty extreme values. Let's take a look. Just one. Our values was 1 to 6. And going over, we see 1 to 6. Outlier is 102. So we above the outlier. And we have the, if you scroll over to the right, highest value is 230. So we halfway to the highest value, but we are well above the typical value, which is just 20,000. We're 6 times higher than that. And even on average, we are 4 times higher than that. So that is how you can take a look at the numbers. You want to know why you're red, just go over and click it and you will see the numbers. Remember what your number is and you see exactly where you fall in. Red is indicating extreme values. Orange indicates high values. And similarly, yellow and light green, yellow green indicates extreme low values and low. Low values are always a bit of a fuzzy item. Whether or not they are significant or not depends on a whole variety of items. For example, here, this particular one, which is usually measures E. coli, how uBiome does the measurement. They put it into this bacteria instead, and we find that it is very low. And guess what? The 1998 studies from Australia found that very low levels were seen with chronic fatigue syndrome. So this is in agreement with that. And so that's basically it. So go enjoy. I'm planning to do additional enhancements as time permits on other pages. Again, these are using quantiles which are specific for guts, not all the samples, just those which are guts. Okay, that's the end.